Hey, we got Doug. That's me.
Oh
Jacob.
shit! Yo,
Aaron.
Hello.
And today we're doing Fight Club, directed by David Fincher, starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Carter, Bonham Carter. I don't know if she cares about that. My apologies.
Probably does. Hey, don't forget my boy, Jared Leto.
Jared
We're
Leto.
not going into the supporting characters.
And Meatloaf.
Go fuck yourself.
Meatloaf's in this fucking thing, dude. Hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw today, generous timing, but David Fincher announced that he is releasing a new project on Netflix.
Fight Club 2.
Fight Club 2.
There's already been a Fight Club 2, apparently.
Fight Club 7.
I don't think it was directed by him.
Well, he announced that he's doing something with Netflix. I don't know if it's like Mindhunter Season 3 or anything like that, but thank you, David, for announcing that the week we decide to cover your movie. I appreciate that.
Also, I'm just going to throw in into the credits here. This is going to be a complete butcher fest, but based on the novel Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. I apologize in advance, my guy, for that pronunciation.
Yeah, as you can tell, Doug hyped the fuck up for this movie. So I guess right off
you guys didn't get to hear it because of Jacob breathing into his mic and solely because of Jacob, but we've done one podcast of a shitty movie. Then you have heard the next podcast of the shitty movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But now we're getting to the good stuff, a quality production.
Let's jump in. Let's get on it. First of all, spoiler free. Doug, do you recommend Fight Club?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I mean, it's simply a quality production.
All around. Jacob, next.
Yeah, I would say I would recommend it to somebody. I want to see why not. It's a decent production. I've seen better.
How would you do this? So if somebody wanted to come in and listen to this part of the podcast and then decided they wanted to go watch it and come back to us, what would you say to convince them to go do that?
I mean, if you want to see a highly entertaining movie that has some interesting points that you can reflect on that relate to your everyday life, maybe you can catch on to if you're paying attention. But if it's your first watch, it might be a little difficult.
I'm going to be honest with you. I saw this movie for the first time less than a year ago.
I saw this movie for the first time 5 minutes ago. I just finished it.
Oh my god.
You've never seen Fight Club?
I had never seen Fight Club.
Oh my god, okay.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but never, ever,
well,
all the way through.
When I first saw it, I did not catch on to the plot twist, and it blew my fucking mind.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that you knew it was coming the whole time, so that's... Yeah,
no,
there's a big plot twist.
I feel like I'm pretty good at catching things like that and like unraveling it, but for this movie, I was just so entranced with everything about it. It's like it almost puts you in like a weird state of mind while you're watching it. Kind of like you're in the fucking cult, because this is a secret fucking cult movie, Like this movie is about a cult.
Terrorist organization.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of puts you in that mindset, and it freaked me out a little bit, but I love that shit. That's one of my favorite movies, Midsommar, dude. Like, I love that shit.
I just wanted to go ahead and point out Fight Club, 79% from the critics, 96% from the audience.
Good movie.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that audiences definitely liked over critics.
I have my theory as to why critics don't like it, because
let's hear it.
Yeah, well, critics are cucked these days and have been for many years. So,
bro, this movie came out 2 decades ago.
Bro.
This thing came out 2 decades ago, bro.
It's been going on for a long time, fellas.
Okay.
Not 21 years.
Okay.
And pretty much this movie is...
It's mind-blowing.
It's
bold, bruising
despite
humor.
The fact that it's, bad things that happen, it is against the entire establishment of.
Okay. Yes,
It's
but
savagely funny.
I would object and say that this movie is made like that on purpose, and it's to get people that have his viewpoint, like Tyler Durden, and it's a what is it called? It's a take on it that is supposed to basically show people that this train of thinking is not right. Like, it's not a parody per se, but it's at the end of the movie, Tyler Durden is not the fucking hero. He's a goddamn terrorist. Like, if you identify with Tyler Durden, you need a fucking mental evaluation, dude. He's literally a fucking terrorist.
I'm just gonna go ahead and disagree with what Aaron's saying right now, but we can get into it later when we discuss the plot.
Well, how do you disagree with me? He's a terrorist.
Well, that's true. Well, actually, I can't. Yeah, we'll discuss it when we get to that point in the plot.
Right,
drop the spoilers.
Open the goddamn movie up. If you want to go watch this shit, go watch it. It's great.
Warning: spoilers ahead.
Yeah, this is the spoiler zone, so God. Fucking leave.
Drop in.
So the beginning of the movie starts at the end. It's the narrator in a chair, with somebody with a gun in his mouth, and then he backtracks to God knows how long ago.
Yeah,
Bob in bitch tits.
Yes, he is in a support group. Specifically, this one is for testicular cancer, and he is meeting with a guy who has breast.
It's boobs, played by Meatloaf.
He did steroids, so he got the tits as a side effect.
No. What happened was he did the steroids, and then it gave him testicular cancer. Once he got the cancer removed, they gave him testosterone treatments, but he got too much of it, and so
his body created estrogen,
overreacted, and gave him breast.
Yeah.
So he is a man. They call him bitch tits.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
And we briefly meet Bob, and then it backtracks even further, and we go into the narrator's issue, which is he can't sleep. He has insomnia.
He's an insomniac, yeah.
And to solve that issue now, he buys shit from IKEA, from magazines, and basically furnishes this apartment. Stylish apartment. The man's got some style to him.
He does.
But the issue is it doesn't really do it for him. It's not.
There's something still.
It's the only thing he knows to do, but it's not fulfilling.
It's not helping him. Exactly. He's still not able to sleep.
He goes to the doctor, and the doctor won't give him anything to sleep. He just tells him he needs to go to fucking sleep. And
he's like, "Come on, motherfucker."
Yeah, and then
I'm in pain, and the doctor's like, "If you want to see pain, go see the dudes with testicular cancer."
Exactly, and this is where he meets Bob. So we're back to where we had flashed back originally, and once he goes to this support group, even though he doesn't have testicular cancer, he goes to sleep. It's a nice, relaxing sleep.
He's able,
because he cries
at the support group. He's able to cry and have that release, and then he's able to sleep.
Exactly. But then he becomes fucking addicted to support groups and just goes to all of them.
I would be addicted too if it was the only way I could sleep.
I agree.
It's true.
But then this is when he meets Marla. And
fucking Marla.
Moke show Marla.
I'm not into it.
Not really.
I'll be the weird one that is.
Aaron likes goth girls, bro.
I'm just saying. There was one thing in this movie that I was here for, and that's the animated boobs. I'm just saying.
So, basically, she's doing the same thing. I don't know why she's doing it. I don't know what the issue is, but she essentially is addicted to support groups as well. And he can't cry while she's there, knowing that she's there lying about her conditions. It makes him unable to enjoy it. So he basically confronts her. He has enough, pulls her aside, and they decide to split up after a lengthy conversation. They decide to split up the week, and they each get certain support groups.
Yeah, and they exchange numbers, which will become important later. It goes to him at his job, which is he works for a automobile company, and
I believe he calls himself a recall coordinator. So essentially, he takes the whatever happened to the people that the cars that he goes and looks at, and he adjusts it based on this mathematical formula. And if the amount of the payout they're going to have to give to these people is more than the recall, then they will do the recall. But if it's less just to pay these people off, they don't do a recall. So that's his job, is to basically assess that and decide if that's what they're going to do or not.
So he's telling that to this lady on the plane, and then he falls asleep, and then he wakes up, and there's a dude right next to him reading the emergency pamphlet procedure, whatever you would call it. And this is the first time we meet Tyler. So Tyler talks to him about how, sitting by the emergency exit of a plane, like you can't get out of a plane 30,000 feet in the air. That's ridiculous. It's an illusion of safety. And then
he tells him right here, he's like, why they have oxygen tanks on these planes? Because oxygen makes you go loopy, and so you're high when you die, and you're actually happy. So right off the bat, Tyler's on something, bro. This man is like, what the fuck?
He's got a unique perspective.
Extremely unique perspective. But he pulls out this briefcase.
Well, first he points out the people on the pamphlet who are, about to die in the emergency crash or whatever. And they're all smiling for some reason.
Happy as can be.
It's a goddamn drawing. It's not realistic.
Dude, they're having a great fucking time, bro.
Oh,
they're high on
oxygen.
God. They're having a great fucking time.
Tyler Durden is not a good guy.
Maybe American Airlines needs to do a recall, bro.
Exactly.
Or sorry, Boeing or whoever the fuck.
So he pulls out this briefcase and opens that bitch up and basically shows him what he does for work, and he makes soap. He sells soap.
You're missing a very important piece of detail here. Tyler and the narrator have the same exact briefcase. The same exact briefcase. And he says it. He makes sure you know.
That's crazy. Maybe in some ploy to make a profit, the briefcase company made more than one for sale.
Maybe that could be a good point.
So with him selling the soap, he tells him that, basically gives him a fun fact about soap, and that if you add certain ingredients to the soap, specifically the fat part of the soap, glycerin, you can create dynamite. My first thought was, I know this is 2000, roughly. You could not say this on a plane these days.
Oh yeah, not at all.
If you said this shit on a plane these days, the air marshal would take your ass straight off the goddamn plane.
They were whispering.
They would be opening that door at 30,000 feet and throwing you out.
They were whispering.
Were they? Didn't sound like it, bro.
It seemed like they had a little bit of space.
Bro, that flight attendant's gonna hear that shit, and the plane's gonna insta-land. 9/11 changed a lot, bro. The narrator tells Tyler that he's the most interesting single-serving friend he's ever met. This I don't really care for this part where he's like, he talks about like single-serving shit. It's like a running joke in the first half of this first part of this movie that I don't really care for.
The point is just to show that the stuff that is important to the narrator isn't actually important.
I
never declare ownership of the dildo.
We never mentioned it. This movie, I don't know if we did or not in the opening. This movie is so fucking funny, dude. This is
very hilarious.
Actual funny movie. Tyler just steals this dude's fucking car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He just hops in the car and goes, "That's my car."
Drives away. But when the narrator gets back to his condo, his apartment, everything is exploded, dude.
His apartment blew up.
His apartment is completely gone.
His apartment was like 30 stories up, maybe.
15th is on the 15th floor.
Holy shit! Hey, so don't listen to anything I say. I do not know how to measure with my mind. Apparently.
Well, it was said in the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that shit's
fucking high up there.
Yeah, that shit's gone. He decides he's gonna call somebody.
He had Marla's number as well, but he's like, nah, bro.
He called her first. She said hello, and he just goes, mistake, and he hangs up the fucking phone.
Yeah. Tyler does seem like the better option, I'm not gonna lie. So he calls up his buddy that he just met, and he doesn't answer, but then he immediately calls back. And he's like, I never pick up my phone, I always star 67. They decide to meet at a bar. This is where you get more just Tyler Durden establishing the character that he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to state one thing about the phone number thing. It's funny that he's a businessman and gives out his business card with his phone number on it, but he never picks up his fucking phone.
Not a great way to do business, Tyler. I'm not gonna lie.
Not at all.
Oh, he seems to be doing fine though. I'm not gonna lie.
It's true. Still department stores and shit. Yeah, he's got a fucking dope pad.
So he basically gives this spiel about how everybody's a fucking consumer and consumerism is bullshit. And at one point he says, "Fuck Martha Stewart."
I agree with everything he said, except I don't know anything about Martha Stewart. So, whoa! He didn't say any of that at the. He didn't say any of that at the restaurant.
True.
Well, he says things you own own you, and basically just goes off on this whole lifestyle that specifically the narrator lives. When they go outside, he's like, I should probably get a hotel. Tyler's like, bro, just fucking ask me. Just ask me to stay.
Would it bother you? Would it bother you to ask me?
So he ends up asking him to stay, and he agrees. And as they go to walk off, Tyler looks at him and just asks him to hit him as hard as he can.
And he resists at first, but then they throw hands. Just a couple punches both ways.
One to the ear, another to the stomach.
Oh yeah, the first punch is just a shot to the fucking ear,
which is fucking devastating.
Well, I don't.
If you haven't been punched, in the ear, it fucking sucks.
I doubt he's ever punched anybody before, so I don't.
He does not look like it, bro. That looks like
definitely
a bitch
not.
Punch.
And then Tyler looks like he's punched somebody before for sure.
Man, absolutely, that man's killed bears with his bare hands. So afterwards, they go back to his house, and you get some more backstory on Tyler, man. And this is where you learn that he works at night as a projectionist
at a movie theater.
Yeah, he's just a projectionist. It's nothing special.
Yeah.
But what he does is special.
Yeah, exactly. It's very special. So basically, he's the person in charge of changing the film over. Because, like, a film isn't on one giant reel. It's on, 3 or 4 separate reels. And then at a specific time in the movie, he's supposed to change reels. So, like, the people in the audience don't realize it.
This is probably some boomer shit, by the way, right? Like,
I don't think we do this anymore. I think we have better shit now.
Well, it depends on what type of. A lot of the movies you see nowadays are shot digital.
Yeah,
true.
But if it is shot on film and it's projected on film, they probably do still have to do this.
Yeah, but what Tyler likes to do in his free time for shits and gigs is he will take a single frame from a porno and slide it into a kid's movie. Just one random frame. So whenever it happens, you see it, but you don't really see it.
Okay, here's my question though. So he splices this single frame in.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck is there audio? Because it moans. It's a single frame of.
It's true.
Does he also splice the fucking audio?
Maybe
if he does that.
Maybe that was just part of the movie he was splicing, but he splices it at the perfect fucking time.
No, bro, no. Either that or he's the greatest movie producer of all time and no one knows it.
It is, whenever he slices in this porn, it is a single frame and all you hear is for literally half a second. It makes no fucking sense. Like, it would just be the visuals. So I'm calling bullshit on Tyler Durden.
Tyler also serves food at a restaurant, I guess, a fancy restaurant.
Yeah, it's a hotel. Yeah, hotel.
Yeah,
and he pisses in the food and blows his load in there.
Yeah, and the clam
pisses in the washer.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Creams in the cream of mushroom.
Anyways, then it cuts back to them at his house, which is a goddamn mansion, basically.
Oh, dude, this dude is fucked. It's literally it's an abandoned, like, 3-story building that is he's just fucking squatting in this building. It's completely fucked.
There's the fucking mattresses on the ground. There's fucking leaks everywhere when you turn one light on.
Lock.
Yep. When you turn one light on one room, another light goes off in another room.
The fucking
stairs are about to collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shit show in there.
It's scuffed.
This is civilized.
They take turns. It's a substitution for the meetings he was going to.
Yeah, he no longer needs to go to these meetings anymore, and instead he could just fight. And I'm assuming sleeping perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to Tyler taking a bath, and they're just sitting in the bathroom together while Tyler's bathing himself, and they have similar backstories. Essentially, both of them don't like their dad, and he left super early, so they don't really have a parental figure.
Pretty much both his parents failed them in his eyes, so he doesn't like either of them, pretty much. A lot of people are in the same situation as Tyler and the narrator in their life, and they feel like they were let down by their parents, and society isn't what it should be.
After this scene, he sees Marla again coming out of the groups, and this is the intro to the titular Fight Club. They go to the basement of the bar, and you get the fucking rules. Jacob, I know you're dying to say these rules, so go ahead and say them for us.
First rule about Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. And I'm not going to say the rest of the rules because that would be in conjunction with the first 2 rules. Aaron, go.
I will say them. The third rule is basically if somebody yells stop, the fight's over. You don't want to kill somebody. The next rule is it's only 2 guys in a fight at a time. They don't want people getting jumped. And the next rule is no shirt and no shoes. I'm also assuming that that's a safety thing. You probably don't want people kicking people with shoes on. No more than 1 fight at a time. The fight goes on as long as it's needed. And the last rule is if it's your first night, you have to fight. So those are the rules of the Fight Club. And then you just get a fight in montage.
And it's a great fucking club.
I would join it.
I would not. I'm going to be real with you right now. I don't want to get beat up.
Oh, then beat people up.
The reason Fight Club is so popular in the movie is because everyone is kind of like
the narrator
in their own way.
Yeah, they're all
just mindless zombies. What the fuck?
Yeah,
they're not mindless. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. They join Fight Club because they have something missing.
Yeah, like they're all stuck in this life of just repetitive going to work and stuff.
Yeah,
and they need something that is exciting in a way to them. And something to look forward to, and Fight Club is that to them.
And as the movie goes on, you realize that damn near everybody has something missing, so they show up in the Fight Club.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but towards the end of this movie, if you're not in the Fight Club, you're in the minority.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everybody. Even right here, like the kid Ricky from work, he's in the Fight Club, and they work together, but they can't talk about it because of the rules. Obviously, you get a little like montage here. Also, they're talking about what Fight Club is about and how it's not about winning. It's not about self-improvement, really. It's not about self-improvement. It's about self-destruction, is what he says. So essentially, rebuild yourself in this image using the Fight Club, the image that you want to be built in. Right here is the first time that Tyler speaks for the narrator, and he starts. If Tyler says one thing, that's what he says. You know what I'm saying? And he starts losing teeth from getting beat up so much, and he looks like shit.
Yeah,
but he loves it. So hey, we don't kink shame. So if he's into it, he's into it.
All right, so Marla calls the narrator, and she's like, "Hey, Chief, I just took a bunch of Xanax, I think, right?"
Yep. I took the rest of the bottle of these Xanax, and
I'm probably dying. So the narrator's like, "Go fuck yourself," but he leaves the phone on the. Oh man,
like off the hook. He leaves it off the hook to where
I don't know what that boomer box is on the wall.
1999, bro.
It's a wall rotary dial phone. He sets the phone on top of the box on the wall. Exactly. And I guess Tyler picks it up. Stuff. I guess.
Different angles, upside down angles. It's just weird.
It looks like it's not. It looks like you're not supposed to be watching it, and it also looks like it's from not their point of view.
Yeah.
The narrator comes into the house. The narrator enters the house, and he's like, "Why is Tyler's door closed? That's weird. He never closes his door." Then he goes in the bathroom, and it's full of condoms, and eventually he realizes that
at least Tyler wears protection. Might be a terrorist, but at least he wraps it up.
Yeah, he realizes that Tyler's been pounding Marla relentlessly.
Dude,
and he's pissed because he can't get rid of this bitch.
For the next 20 to 30 minutes, dude, every time that he's just walking around this house, all you hear in the background is
moaning.
Relentless moaning.
Pounding and moaning.
It sounds like somebody's dying. I do like when he opens the door. I don't know if this is at this part or if it's later.
When he has the gloves on?
He has the fucking gloves on.
And, you want to finish her off?
Bro, and
he
peeks in the door.
Over. What are you doing?
She found the cigarettes. Off his bed, and she's like, "I found cigarettes." They after they bang super loud. He gets a call from the arson unit, and essentially somebody tells him that it wasn't his apartment didn't catch on fire and blow up just normally. Somebody put dynamite in his fucking apartment and blew that bitch up.
Yeah, homemade dynamite, blew out the pilot light, and just waited.
Lit that motherfucker up.
Kabooey.
Big boom.
Yep, and he acts like he cares, but he's over this material shit. But by now he's so far invested in this Tyler Durden lifestyle that he doesn't actually care.
But he's not all the way invested yet.
Tyler and Marla basically have a love-hate thing going on where after they get done banging, they just don't talk to each other, and he has to relay messages to them. And then she tries to get with the narrator. She reaches around him and tries to give him the old reach around, and he is not
and
for it.
Yep, she touches his pegger and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, and she does not look happy. She fucking bolts out of there, and Tyler basically says it's time to go do a mission. So
they got to make soap.
Yeah,
yep, it's time to make some motherfucking soap.
And so they jump over this barbed wire fence, and
it's a liposuction facility.
They gotta get fat.
The best fat is human fat, so they get it from a lipo place.
Liposuction.
So they're stealing this fat. They try and throw it over the barbed wire. A bag gets fucking caught.
This honestly is the fucking most disgusting part of this entire fucking movie. It's just these fucking weird bags of fat.
There's just this goopy fat leaking out of this bag.
He's like, "Get another one."
Yeah, and they render the fat into glycerin.
I just want to point out that the making the soap out of the fucking fat from the liposuction place is a call out of how ridiculous society is.
Oh yeah, and then they talk about how they sell it back to department stores, so these bitches are using their own fat to wash themselves.
Yeah. Just completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This whole thing is very obviously a dramatization of society. It's obviously not like this.
Are we sure?
I'm not 100%. Are you?
I'd be a person out there making lipo soap.
So this montage of soap happens, and he grabs the narrator's hand and he pours lye on it, and basically
it's burning.
It gives him a bad chemical burn, but Tyler won't let him wash it off. He needs to feel the pain, and he doesn't want him to run away from it.
Yeah, he's trying to like mentally escape it, but Tyler wants him to accept it. So he's trying to like have visions of his happy place and all this random shit. But Tyler's like, "No, bitch, you got to take it.
You got to let go." And yeah.
I think right here he starts saying shit like "we are gods and wanted children" and stuff like that.
Yep.
Cult leadership.
This is when it gets a little weird.
For sure.
Yeah.
As if robbing the liposuction place wasn't weird enough.
After this, he goes into work, and there's some type of note or letter about Fight Club. His boss brings it to him and basically threatens him with it, and is like, "What the fuck is this?" And the narrator
goes full sicko mode.
Yeah, he gives this fucking monologue about how he's gonna come in there with a gun and blow them all away. After he threatens his boss with killing everybody in the goddamn office, the boss backs down, and he leaves, and he finds Marla stealing food.
Well, the point of his like kill everybody in the office was supposed to be like, oh, how ridiculous is it that you think I would have a paper about Fight Club?
Exactly.
But
yeah, he basically says,
but the boss was like, he was spooked.
Marla calls him and asks him to come check for a lump in her boob. So he goes over there and checks, and she's all good to go. I guess.
Which is weird because she's banging Tyler, but he wants the narrator to feel her boob.
Yeah. After grabbing his dick. I'm just saying, it's kind of weird.
Okay, pause.
She wants that double sausage biscuit.
As he leaves her apartment, he sees Bob outside.
Bitch tits.
Yeah, and he comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, I don't have to go to that group anymore. I found something new." And
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
And the narrator is like, "Come on, dude, I know what it is. You can tell me about
I'm a part of it. Look, my face is fucked up. I'm a part of that shit."
Yeah. So he's like, "Hey, like, do you know who invented this shit? Like, they say he's like a legend, bro." And
his name
this is where we start to realize that Tyler is getting the credit for everything, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler is like the dude. So they go to the Fight Club, and Bob beats the fuck out of him.
Yeah, Bob fucking makes the narrator tap like a little bitch. Gets him in a rear naked choke.
Bob kicked the shit out of the narrator. The narrator got kicked the shit out of. But when they left, they're both happy.
Oh yeah,
they're having a great time.
Fight Club isn't necessarily about beating up somebody you don't like. It's you're just having fun fighting people.
Yeah, you're letting out all your aggressions and your just anger.
It's a therapeutic
things that weigh you
experience.
Down. Exactly.
It's basically a spa. If a spa was in the basement of a bar and was filled with blood
and punches.
So the next scene is a bunch of new people at Fight Club, and Tyler's giving a speech about how so many new people here. I mean, somebody's breaking the rules.
And you're talking about Fight Club.
This is the best scene of the movie, by the way. And the thing about, yeah,
I don't think so. I know what my favorite scene is.
The thing about the rules of Fight Club is, like, nobody's actually going to be able to follow them because we're mentally ill, like human beings. So people are going to know.
Of course. And they're a little like not possible if you want Fight Club to be a thing. Like, they obviously want Fight Club to grow and expand, but how would it grow and expand without telling people about it, you know?
True.
Yeah.
So the bar owner comes down. His name's Lou.
Lou.
He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing in my bar?
He is not cool with the Fight Club existing in the basement of his bar. And Tyler, being the absolute chaos that he is, does not give a fuck that this guy wants them out. And he basically gets this guy to beat the fuck out of him in front of everybody.
Yeah, he's letting Lou know how crazy he really is. Because he lets him kick the shit out of him, like, big time. His face is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Super bloody
everywhere.
And then he jumps on him like a goddamn rabid dog.
Yeah.
He's like, please let us fight here. I'll do anything.
More like a spider monkey than a dog.
Yeah. And he's just dripping his blood all over Lou.
And he's bleeding his mouth and shit. And
please, Lou.
And Lou's like, okay, you're a fucking psychopath. I'll leave you alone now.
Lou's like, if I tell this motherfucker he can't fight here, he's probably going to push me into a wood chipper or something. So I'm just going to let it
be. Yeah, let it be.
This guy's 100% full-blown crazy.
Oh, yeah. After that, Tyler gives out his first homework. And the homework is to fight a stranger, but lose the fight. And apparently, it's pretty fucking hard to start a fight with people. Most people don't want to fight.
The guy...
I kind of want to fight.
The guy spraying the water hose on
That's the fucking funniest shit ever, dude. The random people that walk around and just sprays them real quick. The preacher.
I think it's a priest. He looked Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. Hey, man, you sprayed your water hose on me. What, like this? He slaps the Bible out of his hand and sprays the Bible, too.
Eventually he gets the priest to throw a couple haymakers.
Yeah.
Bro, he hits him the first time and he's like, I'm sorry, and runs away. And the guy chases him down.
After that is another one of the best scenes in the movie. The narrator goes up to his boss's room and he's like, we need to talk. And he's like, listen up, chief. I'm going to tell the whatever agency that is. I can't think of it right now. And he's like,
the Department of Transportation? The DOT?
Yeah, probably. He's like, I'm going to tell them all the shit I know about this company that's fucked up. And, to avoid that, you could just let me stay on the payroll, but not work anymore, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And the boss is like, you've lost your fucking mind.
And you're fired.
So then he decides he's gonna beat the shit out of himself.
And
literally like punches himself and flings himself across the room and lands on glass multiple times. And it looks like his boss kicked his ass once the security gets up there.
Yeah, security walks in right as the boss is like standing over him with his sleeves rolled up. And he gets what he wants.
Yeah.
He gets to go home with paychecks in hand.
Genius.
And this is after this, they go to that because he no longer works Fight Club every night. He doesn't have to work anymore. They just go every single night and have Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
And they start giving out homework assignments.
Yep. Also, a funny thing right here: Tyler is in a class action lawsuit over the urine in the soup of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
Funny little callback. But the new homework that he gives them is essentially
just cause mayhem.
Yeah,
like
cause absolute
break
mayhem.
People's antennas so they can't watch TV.
Yeah,
gasoline and televisions in a department store windows. When they turn them on in the morning, they blow up.
Tyler and the narrator, they swing the road spikes from like a parking lot around.
Yeah, and
so when they go to leave, the fucking tires blow out.
Are they hitting movies with like a magnet or something to like mess them up?
Yeah, it basically wipes the disc.
Does that works for DVDs or VHS or both?
DVDs.
Okay.
They also put up a billboard that says, "Did you know you can fertilize your lawn with gasoline?"
Yeah.
Just be a terrorist organization.
Exactly.
Is the fucking homework.
Yeah. And as they're doing this, like the narrator and Tyler are hitting the front of cars with baseball bats so the alarms will just go off. And they're talking about how like all these like fight clubs are starting to pop up around like the area. Like there's one here, there's one there, and it's becoming a lot bigger than they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and after this, Tyler, I forget what he calls it, but he decides basically that he's going to go into a convenience store and pull a man out via gunpoint.
This is my favorite scene of the movie.
He holds this guy at gunpoint and he pulls out his wallet and he goes through it. This guy's name is Raymond. He gets his address, all that good shit. And as he's holding him at gunpoint, he's asking him, what did he want to be? Like, what did he go to college? Blah, blah, blah. And Raymond says that he wanted to be a veterinarian. And Tyler basically tells him, you're going to die unless you become a vet. And I'm going to come check up in on you.
In 6 months. I have your address now.
6 weeks.
Keeping your license, bitch. Was it 6 weeks? Okay, sorry, my bad. 6 weeks.
He needs to be on his way to becoming a vet in 6 weeks.
Like back to school or something. If you're not, I'll kill you.
He lets him go, runs away, and basically the whole plan of that thing was there's no bullets in the gun. The plan was literally just to inspire this dude's life to be better.
Yeah. Yeah. And he runs away. Yeah, go for it.
The narrator's like, hey, man, why'd you do that? And Tyler, the quote goes something like, his breakfast tomorrow is going to be, tomorrow's going to be the greatest day of his life. When he has breakfast, it's going to be the best thing he's ever tasted or something like that.
It's going to be better than anything you and I have ever tasted in our entire lives. Because he will be truly free.
Yeah.
I just want to point out.
Some cult shit, dude.
Yeah, this is not a good plan. This isn't good shit.
Which, I don't know if you guys noticed, but later in the movie, whenever, like, the narrator walks into Tyler's room and he closes the door behind him, there's a fucking door covered in license of, like, fucking people. It says human sacrifices on top. So he's done this more than once. He's done it to a fucking lot of people.
I've literally missed that every time I've watched this movie.
Really?
Apparently.
Yeah. Whenever he closes the door, there's just licenses.
It covers the entire fucking door. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So after that, they go back home and Marla's there and they kind of just talk a little bit. He's nice to her. She's nice to him. It's, they're kind of getting a little bit friendlier. But she wants to confront him about how he acts weird to her sometimes. And he doesn't want to talk about it because he hears Tyler building bunk beds downstairs in the basement.
And Tyler's like, get rid of this bitch now.
Yeah.
I told you I don't want you talking about me with her.
Yeah, and then so he basically tells him what to say. Like he says something and then the narrator repeats it to her and then she leaves.
This conversation is over.
So after that, there's a guy standing outside and Tyler walks out there and is like, go the fuck home.
Too young.
You're too young. Get the fuck out of here. He tells the guy to leave and he won't. He stays there. And Tyler basically tells him if he stands there for 3 days and 3 nights without food, without sleep, then he's allowed to come in.
Exactly.
And every so often, they both go out there and basically tell him to get the fuck out of here. And they're
he's worthless. He's trash.
Piece of shit.
Call the cops.
You're nothing.
And he stays.
Then he gets in.
And then when they shave his head. Finally let him in, and guess who's standing on the doorstep now? Bitch tits Bob.
Bob's like, Bob.
I want to be a part of it.
Dissuaded easily.
Yeah, he tell him to go away. You're too fat, you old fuck.
Too fat, big man.
Yeah, too old and too fat.
No, you're too old, fat man. Get out of here. And then he starts walking away, and then the narrator goes, hey, if you stay for a little bit, you'll get in. Don't worry.
Biggest mistake of his fucking life.
And the new guy now is the one going out there yelling at him. And yelling at the other people standing at the fucking thing. And Tyler's literally just building a goddamn army of followers. He's literally, this is like a cult initiation, dude. He's just building a fucking cult.
This is also where we get introduced to our pretty little blonde boy, Jared Leto.
The best fucking actor in this movie.
Oh my god!
Whoa! Meatloaf's in this fucking movie. Put some respect
Brad
on
Pitt
Meatloaf,
and
bitch.
Edward Norton are excellent in this film, bro. What are you on about?
Yeah. You're right. I will say though, this blonde kid, I like him, but he freaks me out.
Yeah.
He fucking scares me.
He just honestly looks like he'd be a part of another cult if he wasn't a part of this one.
Yeah, like this kid, blonde, it's dyed, right? It's like bleach.
Oh, yeah, 100% it's dyed. There's no way that's real, unless he's an albino.
So it's just Jared Leto being Jared Leto, looking fucking weird, doing good shit in movies. The narrator comes home and they start celebrating stuff, and they're passing out beers and they're all watching on the TV. And
they're also covered. A lot of them are kind of has a touch of this like bright green paint on them.
Yeah, and a lot on Tyler.
Oh, a lot.
So they're watching the news, and on the news there is a fire, and in this big ass skyscraper there is a smiley face painted in the side of it with the eyes are two different windows that are broken out and burning from the inside. So it looks like a smiley face with burning eyes.
And it's made with green paint.
And this is the first you get of what Tyler is calling Project Mayhem. And the narrator tries to ask about it, and just the only reply is
first rule of Project Mayhem is do not talk about Project Mayhem and no questions.
Do not ask questions. Yeah, you're not allowed to ask any questions about Project Mayhem. So then there's a city council meeting because the police chief pretty much promises that he's going to track down whoever did this and bring him to justice. And they're back at the hotel that Tyler works in, and all of the servers are members of Fight Club. And they follow this councilman into the bathroom, this police chief, into the bathroom, and they fucking rubber band his ball sack and are going to cut his nuts off.
It's a big ass knife.
Yeah, they pull out this fucking Bowie knife and are like, we will cut your fucking testicles off if you don't call off this investigation. And he agrees. And on the way out, Tyler gets a little too friendly with this blonde guy. He gives him like a little rub on the back of the head, like, good dog. And the narrator sees it, and he's getting a little jelly. A little jelly of Jared Leto.
How dare you be petted by my Tyler Durden?
So in the next Fight Club, they fight, and he beats the fuck out of Jared Leto.
Beats his goddamn face in.
Shit out of
his teeth are gone. His face is fucked. It's bad, and he breaks the rule of Fight Club. You're supposed to stop when the guy tells you to stop or goes limp, and he tells him to stop, and he doesn't.
Yeah, he tells him to stop after like 4 punches, and he lays in another probably dozen.
So he breaks the rules, and Tyler's obviously pissed about it. Mm-hmm. And they get in a car together. They're driving away, and Edward Norton's character basically decides that he wants to be more included on Project Mayhem and stuff like that. And so Tyler is basically accusing him of caring too much about shit and not just letting it happen. And so he starts driving in the wrong side of the road. And basically, this is when Tyler goes like full chaos mode.
Yep.
He almost hits cars, and he admits to blowing up the narrator's condo. So the apartment that he had, Tyler blew it up. If we didn't know that already. Convinces the narrator that he needs to let the fuck go. And to do that,
so they buckle up, floor it, and just drive off the road.
Yep, they hit another car and fly down the goddamn embankment, dude.
Yep.
And when they're getting out, Tyler's like, you guys had a near-life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to the house. I mean, it's just this house now is just...
It's full of goons.
It's full of dudes. And these guys have made this place look fucking fantastic, bro. They fixed it up. There's a garden in the backyard.
There's a nice garden. It looks great, and they're just making tons of soap.
A bunch of soap. Holy shit.
Essentially, the only person that knows what's happening next in Project Mayhem is Tyler. And that's the way he wants it. And Marla comes over as the narrator's drunk as fuck and sees all these people and basically, he tells her that Tyler's not there. She gets pissed and she leaves.
We missed a very distinct part in this. Like after the car wreck, we forgot that this is where Tyler leaves. Tyler says some shit to the narrator while the narrator's like half passed out from the wreck.
Oh yeah.
He goes. So the narrator's just pissed that he's gone. He has no clue, and he goes.
Now Tyler we can't find out about Project Mayhem.
Exactly, and I'm Jack's broken heart because Tyler's gone now.
So after she leaves, he hears a ruckus in the house.
Oh no!
He runs back in, and they're bringing somebody in.
Oh
There's
God!
Obviously, been an accident, and
rest in peace.
I'm sad to report, bitch tip Bob is shot.
Damn it!
His name was Robert Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson.
So pretty much in Project Mayhem, you don't have a name. You're nobody. But
in death,
pretty much the people misunderstand the narrator because he's like, no, this is fucking Robert Paulson. Treat him like a human being. And pretty much they come to the conclusion that in death,
in Project Mayhem, you have a name.
You become somebody. So they start cult chanting, his name was Robert Paulson. His name was Robert Paulson. And this is where the narrator starts fucking losing it.
This is honestly the saddest part of the entire... I fucking loved Bob so much, dude.
Rest in peace.
Bob is such a nice guy.
Fuck, dude. Why did it have to be Meatloaf? Why?
He went through so much.
Why couldn't Jared Leto... Why couldn't
it be Jared Leto?
Go fuck yourself. All right, so basically, this fucking cult is out of control now. They're fucking pulling like big time terroristic shit, blowing up Starbucks and shit like that.
I just want to point out, is it still terrorism if you don't hurt anybody?
Yes.
If you do anything to strike fear into a group of people or a culture of people, it's terrorism.
Well, the definition is the unlawful use of violence. Well, part of it is.
Yeah. That's terrorism, dude.
Doesn't violence have to be like hurting someone?
No.
If you are destroying property to incite fear in a community or a singular person, you are a terrorist. Even if it doesn't kill anybody. But also, I would argue it does kill people. Bob got shot.
Bob is dead. Does he not mean anything to you, Doug?
They didn't use the violence.
His name was Robert Paulson. Did you forget?
So this cult is fucking out of control. And the narrator fucking loses it and decides he's going to go try and find Tyler. And he uses these plane tickets that he has that he knows Tyler is using, and he tracks him down across the country.
He's going to Dallas. He's going to Orlando. He's going to New York. Philly,
everywhere he goes,
LA.
There's new fight clubs there. There's just fight clubs everywhere he goes. There's a funny line here where he's talking to somebody and they're like, "Do you know what Tyler Durden looks like? I heard he gets facial reconstruction surgery every 3 years, so nobody knows." Like at this point, Tyler Durden isn't a person. He's not a person.
He's a myth.
Transcended into cult leader status, where these people just blindly follow him.
It's more than that. It's like he's a deity, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people in cults, that's what they believe. Like, look up the Jonestown cult. This man got like 900 people to drink Kool-Aid and kill themselves, including children, because they believe that he was this.
Yeah. Did you not know about this?
Is that where the saying drinking the Kool-Aid is coming?
Yeah, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Yep. He did not drink the Kool-Aid, though. For the record, he shot himself.
Ow.
He watched everybody die and then he killed himself.
He's always one step behind him, and then he gets to this other bar, and the bartender welcomes him back. And basically,
welcome back, sir.
He basically says, "Welcome back, Tyler."
Yeah, this guy's in a full fucking headdress. He's like, looks like he got fucking mauled by a damn bear. Yeah. This guy is a Fight Club veteran, bro.
And he asked him how he knows that he's Tyler Durden. and the bartender says that he gave him a chemical burn, the one that matches the one that he got from.
It's on the narrator's hand.
Yeah, from Tyler whenever they were making the soap earlier. So he calls Marla up when he goes back to the hotel room and is like, "Hey, have we ever had sex?" And she's like, "Don't be a fucking idiot. Of course we had sex."
Ooh, do you want to call it making love, or you either hate me or you love me? What is it, Tyler?
Yeah. So she calls him Tyler, and this is the big real. This is the plot
where
twist.
It happens.
Tyler fucking pops up in this room, and Tyler Durden is not real. He's real.
No, he is real. He is the narrator. The narrator is Tyler Durden.
Brad Pitt's character you've been seeing this whole time is who the narrator. It's everything the narrator wishes he was put into a singular person.
Yeah, pretty much he's created a separate version of himself in his mind, so that I guess he can't really control who the separate version of himself is. It's like exactly the opposite of him. So it's like big and strong and doesn't care about possessions and fucks like a freaking force of nature.
Yeah.
So
doesn't give a fuck what society thinks.
All these interactions that he's been having with people, that Tyler have been having with people, have actually just been him in a unconscious state in his normal body, but Tyler is awoken and takes over his body. And so he doesn't remember, he doesn't know that it's him until he realizes that Tyler isn't real, and then it all comes back to him. And
he's like, oh shit, I did do all this stuff.
He starts remembering him, like he was the one painting the smiley face in the building. He remembers having sex with Marla. He remembers
beating up the police chief. Yeah.
So
now we can go back and we can talk about how Tyler has been like flashing during the narrator's insomnia, like one frame.
Yeah,
like
frame every once in a while. It happens
flashing into
twice.
reality.
Yeah, it happens twice before they talk about the movie projector thing or whatever. Also, the briefcases being the same because they're not two different briefcases; they're one briefcase.
Yep. And then there's a bunch of other shit, but
there's a bunch of clues that tell you that this is like, because no one in the movie, no one talks directly to Tyler other than the narrator.
Like
when watching it for the first time, though, Jacob, did you pick it up?
You don't catch that. I picked up the flashes. I picked it up when, like, Helena Bonham Carter is like trying to like really open up to the narrator and stuff, and Tyler's making the bunk beds, and he's like, "This conversation is over with." Like, and she's like, "Who are you talking to?"
Yeah,
but he's like. Because if she was actually having sex with Tyler, she knew that he was in the house, and that's who he would be talking to. But she asked him, "Who are you fucking talking to, dude? Are you losing your shit?" Yeah. And at that point, I'm like, "Wait a minute, is this like this? He's not real. This is him in his fucking head."
Yeah, one of the big hints is when he calls Tyler for the first time, and he doesn't answer because
it's not real.
He can't actually answer because he's not real.
Yeah,
exactly.
So then he like makes up the part where he calls back.
Yeah,
basically everything's been made up. Everything Tyler's done has just been him. So he flies back to the house, and
pretty much empty.
Another thing I remember about the flying and stuff is earlier in the thing when he's talking about his job as the like adjuster for the recall, whatever it is, he lists all these fucking cities that he goes to. He goes to fucking LAX, New York, Dallas, Miami, Orlando, shit like that. And then the ticket stubs that he's looking at that are Tyler's ticket stubs are those cities. So as he goes to his other job, he's the one setting up all the other fight clubs and stuff.
Correct.
What I'm trying to say is good job, Fight Club. Like, good job. You took a hard fucking premise and you didn't fuck it up. So
exactly. And great. And this is honestly, I think this is one of the greatest fucking plot twists in all of movie franchise history. Like, it's like the fucking best. It's okay. Yeah. I think it's like second to I See Dead People.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Ooh.
Bro. I am your father, bro.
Yeah.
One moment.
Oh yeah, true.
There's been some good ones. I think this is up there. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to say it's the best or what position it is, but this one is up there as
we might have a ranking sure. A ranking pod we'll need
Plot
to
twist?
save this topic for. So
yeah. Sure. That's a good idea. We might have to throw that one out there sometime.
Anyways, as he's leaving the hotel, the receptionist gives him his call log. So he takes the call log and he gets back to fucking shack and nobody's there.
His mansion.
So he starts calling the numbers on the call log and he's connecting the dots for Project Mayhem. So he notices that the numbers are correlated to the addresses that are pinned to the wall on for the Project Mayhem plan. So he's like, fuck it. I'm going to turn myself into the police.
Another thing is like he's calling these places and he's like, "Hi, can I speak to the manager speaking, please?" And like, that's me. So I'm talking to you right now. And he's like, "Hey, there's a fucking bomb in your building." And then the manager will reply with, "Yes, sir. We know, sir. I'll take care of it, sir."
Everybody's
this motherfucker is in Fight Club.
Everybody's in Project Mayhem at this point.
Yep.
So he gets arrested and he admits to all of his shit and he's in the interrogation room and he's telling this whole story. And the lead cop is like, okay, is it the arson unit cop?
He is the arson unit cop.
Why
yes.
the fuck is he the one interrogating this guy? If he's in the arson unit.
Well, I think
because I think
if you were already investigating somebody and they came and turned themselves in for some shit,
okay.
And
fair enough.
just because you're an arson guy doesn't mean you can't do other things. Because I'm pretty sure you have to build up to be like a lead detective in the arson unit. So you're probably he knows, yeah.
So basically, do you guys want to explain what Project Mayhem is here? You get the full rundown.
So basically, he is going to blow up like 10 or 11 buildings, 12 buildings, something like that.
It's 12, yeah.
Yeah, that are basically credit card companies. And once you blow up all these buildings, all the records are going to be done. Like they're gone. So at that point, everybody's financial debt will be reset to zero. And everybody will start anew.
That's kind of the
most no fucking sense.
That's the most outlandish part of this movie because 1999 was a long time ago, but I know they had the internet and I'm pretty sure records were backed up at this point.
On a floppy disk somewhere else.
So the lead investigator leaves. He's like, "Hey, let's go check this shit out." And as soon as he walks out this door, the cops pop up.
The other
three
are all in Project Mayhem.
3 out of the 4. Yeah, the 3 out of the 4 cops.
The only one that's not is the lead arson unit cop. So these other 3 cops pop up and essentially tell him that Tyler told them if he ever tries to interfere with Project Mayhem, they have to
take his balls.
So
and he's like, okay, calm down. I'm your leader. And they're like, sir, you said that you would say that, and we have to continue. He's like, call it off. And like, you would also say that as well.
Yep.
And so basically, anything he says to try to defer them, him as Tyler has told them to fucking just completely ignore whatever I say and continue to take my balls, please.
So they pin him down, and as they go to try and cut off his balls, he pulls a gun from one of the cops' holsters, fucking runs out of this police station in his underwear with a gun. I feel like somebody
and no one stops him. Well, I feel like here's the thing. I feel like if those 3 cops are on his payroll, basically, quote unquote, a lot of other cops are on the payroll, and no one's gonna give a fuck.
Were those 3 cops the only one that knew about the plan to cut off his balls, or were they all in on it?
I think it's everybody, man. I feel like there's just a nationwide don't cut my balls off or just cut my balls off.
Well, if all the cops are in on cutting off his balls and they saw him running away pantsless, you would think they would try and stop him.
Yeah, true. I feel like all the cops that are in Fight Club know hey, if I ever go to the police, you guys have to,
probably
make me eat my testicles.
Either way, he fucking sprints out of that bitch, Winnie the Pooh in it.
Nearly causes 5,000 accidents.
Yeah, he's just
on the
running through
road.
the street with a gun. Runs to one of these buildings that has the address. He has the address of, and he looks in this van, and it's just full of dynamite. And then Tyler pops up and shows up and starts beating the fuck out of him. And there's a timer in the van. It's 25 minutes left, and he's able to disarm this bomb somehow. Luck. He says that if Tyler knows it, then he knows it. But then Tyler says, "Well, I've been thinking
the wrong shit all day." Haha, checkmate. I don't think he actually diffuses it, because he diffuses it, but then Tyler just resets it.
Interesting.
No, it's actually diffused, right? Because they're in the same building.
The rest that building doesn't blow.
Wait, I thought they went to a different building.
I don't know, dude. Because he knocks him out. Tyler knocks him out after he beats the shit out of him. And when he wakes
goes to the other building.
He's tied up in a building with a view of the other buildings that are going to blow up.
Exactly, because earlier Tyler was like, let's not go here, because when he was trying to break into that building, he was like, let's not go here. I have another building that has a nice view of everything. So I'm pretty sure that's where he took him.
You're probably right.
So he either doesn't defuse it or Tyler resets it afterwards.
Yeah, I remember vividly, like, the scene is like, he disarms it, Tyler fucking punches him in the face and sends him out of the back of the van, and then Tyler, as he's stepping over it, he reconnects the wire to the timer and it keeps beeping. So, okay, I'm saying, like, I don't think he ever really defused the bomb. I think
he defused it and then rearmed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So he disarms his bomb, he gets knocked out, somehow it gets rearmed, and when he wakes up, he's tied to a chair at the top of this building.
Well, the narrator rearms it as Tyler.
Yes. And then knocks himself out as Tyler. And then walks up the stairs as Tyler. Wakes up as the narrator.
Yes. And when he wakes up, he's in this chair. And this is the opening scene of the movie again. Because it opens with somebody holding a gun to his head. And it was Tyler holding a gun to his head. This is after also in that fight. He's like shooting at him. But Tyler's the bullets are going through him, and he's just shooting this van that's full of dynamite.
Nitroglycerin, yeah.
My God. Also, random point, but Tyler's laugh in this movie is maniacal.
It is very maniacal.
It's really fucking weird. So he basically accepts responsibility for creating this person, Tyler, in his head and making Project Mayhem happen. But he knows it's too late, and he doesn't know what to do. He knows he can't fucking disarm the bombs or anything, so he has to figure out how to get rid of Tyler.
So he pretty much realizes that since Tyler has the gun in his hand, then he actually has the gun in his hand.
Yeah, the narrator has the gun in his... It's not... Anything Tyler has is actually not in Tyler's hands because Tyler's not fucking real.
It's in the narrator's hands.
So the narrator acts like he's going to blow his fucking head off. But
this is...
In reality, he decides to pull the trigger and somehow it goes out the side of his, like, face.
Like cheek? Like it goes out his cheek or something?
But it kills Tyler.
Yeah, it goes out the side of his cheek, but it blows the back of Tyler's head off. I think it's more just about, like, he's willing to die to kill Tyler, so his brain kills him. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously he didn't get actually shot.
But does it, though?
No, he actually shot himself, for sure.
He does actually shoot himself.
He realized what was going on, and then by shooting himself, he consciously made the decision to get rid of Tyler for good, so he's actually gone for good.
To do that, he had to be willing to die to kill Tyler. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly.
We gotta set this scene up because this is actually the best scene in the movie. I know you guys have been saying some other shit is. This one actually is. So the people, he looks down and out of the bus, he sees Marla getting dragged out of this bus because earlier in the movie he meets with her after he finds out Tyler is like him and sends her away on a bus. But as soon as she gets on the bus, you see a bunch of people stand up on the bus. And presumably it is Fight Club members. They kidnap her and bring her back into the city. and they bring her up to this building where Tyler is, or where the narrator is, and when she comes in, she sees his face is all fucked, and she's standing there, and you have what I think is the greatest needle drop in movie history. I can't think of another movie that has a better needle drop than this, bro.
It's a pretty good needle drop, yeah.
What the fuck is a needle drop?
Like, it's a song comes on.
A song starts playing as something happens in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's a real song. It's not like a score.
Yeah.
So Pixies, Where's My Mind starts playing, dude. And these buildings blow up, and they stand there and look at it. Chef's kiss, dude. This scene, when I was watching this movie for the first time, this scene, I had to change my pants afterwards. I was losing it, dude. This is the best scene. It's amazing. Like, they're watching these buildings blow up. This awesome fucking song is playing, and they're holding hands, and they look at each other, and like, it's all good. It's great. And that's the end of the movie. God, I love that scene so much. It's so good.
Pretty solid animation for 1999.
Yeah, for sure. Except for like the sex scenes, those animations were pretty shit.
The scene where he dreams the plane like crashing or whatever.
That was great.
How the fuck they put that in
that
there like as like just a pointless thing, and it was like really good animation. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most expensive shots of the entire fucking movie, and it was just a dream.
It's fucking fantastic. This is one of those movies that you have to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta watch it. So, to wrap it up, you guys know how I like to get your scores, so I can keep track. And once we have enough, I'm gonna start a board.
Are we gonna talk about what we thought the point of the movie was?
Yeah, of course. We can. Now or after your scores. It's up to you.
We can do it now. It's fine.
Wow.
I know, right? Deep shit.
Yeah, I think there definitely is some of that in there, Jacob. I think you're right about that.
That and like just trying to find freedom, but the wrong way of doing it. Like, that was Tyler's point, was to be free.
Yeah, to me it was like about how fucked up society is and how it kind of creates mental illness and kind of the struggle we have to go through.
So in your synopsis, do you think it holds up? Because it's a 21-year-old movie now.
What do you mean holds up?
Like, do you think society has changed to the point where this movie isn't relevant anymore, or do you think society is still to the point where this movie is relevant?
I think it's still to the point to where it's relevant.
We don't just podcast. We know each other IRL. And Aaron knows the fact that I think society is worse than it was when this movie came out. So yeah,
most definitely.
It holds up.
Okay. I think this movie is a secret cult movie.
Oh shit.
I think this movie wants to find people like Douglas who think society is a certain way, and it wants to show you how those people that are like this in extreme manners are not good. And that if you take these actions into your own hands, you become a not good person. And in this case, you become a terrorist. I don't think this movie is trying... I mean, I think it's trying to show you that society is fucked up, and I think you're right. I think it is also about how society creates mental illnesses and how society shapes how people view their own individual worlds. But even with them in their own individual worlds, they still collectively view the same thing because society molds it. But to me, this movie is more about showing you that Tyler Durden, a person that maybe somebody who thinks that society is really fucked up, would possibly idol and think that he is doing something cool and thinks that he's doing something that is important, showing you that Tyler Durden is not a good person. He is not the good guy in this movie. He is the bad guy. Even if for an hour and a half or 2 hours and a half you think that he is the good guy, he's not the good guy. He is manipulative, and he's a terrorist, and he has to be killed in the end for everything to turn out okay for our main character. So he's the bad guy. And I think this is trying to show you that if you idolize certain people that may seem radical, that you get clouded in judgment and think that those people are good.
I guess one of the points is, like, the narrator and Tyler are like complete opposites when they're like complete opposites, and they're both like at the very, very far extremes, when the real, I guess, solution for yourself is to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that I think that this movie is trying to show you that either extreme can be bad, but I think specifically in this movie it's trying to show you that the radical extreme is the bad guy. And I think it's a
valid points, but that's also not what the movie's about. So,
I would love to see what David Fincher says this movie is about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, he created it. I'd love to see.
Well, I guess we need to see what we need to ask the guy who wrote the novel.
We got to talk to Chuck.
But anyways, we can move on to ratings.
Ratings time.
All right. So besides our differing views in what this movie is about, I'm assuming that we all have similar scores. So one of you lay your scores on me now.
Doug, this is your movie. Let her fucking rip, bro. Let's go.
All right. So for my personal score, it's a 10. This movie is thebomb.com.
You realize 10 means perfect, right? You think this is a perfect movie?
I'd say for movies that are in my personal top 10, I can give them a 10 score.
Okay.
That's just how I'm going about my
this
scores,
is your
I guess.
this is your personal opinion score.
So where would you put this in your personal top 10?
Yeah.
I would have to like lay out some fucking. I'd have to do some research. I just know Fight Club's in the top 10, and then there's, Interstellar. Some other shit that Empire Strikes Back. But anyways, we're gonna give it a 10. It's a fucking banger. For what's the other score we do?
This is if you think it was made well. If you think the people making this movie did a good job.
So, trying to think if there was anything they could have done better. No, it's a fucking 10. Double 10s.
And across
double
the board,
fucking 10s? Holy shit.
This is a certified Theater 13 perfect movie from Douglas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jacob, let him rip.
I mean, you fools know I was right about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and
okay.
We don't have my score from the other dog shit movie that might not ever be released. We'll see, but yeah, this is a certified banger. Watch it, or your life sucks.
This is a certified Doug movie right here.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Jacob?
we all have them, bro.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Okay, so my personal score for this movie, I'd have to give it a 9. This movie was a fucking banger. I thoroughly enjoyed watching every second of it. It was funny. It was brutal. It was very smart in the way I feel like they just the story was fantastic.
I think there's a reason
the plot twist killed it.
There's a reason we can all debate about the meaning of it. Yeah, that's just how deep of a movie it is.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's just really everything. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed it. For my movie making score, I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5. I feel like they could have done a little bit better on the CGI boobies.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding.
Wait. What did you rate Once a Time upon a what? My god, I'm stuck.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm pretty sure it was a 7.
Let's find my notes.
Chop, buddy.
You gave it 7.5 for likeness score and an 8 in the movie making.
Oh shit! I gave it an 8 in the movie making. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give this an 8.5.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like, I wish they would have gone. Well, you know what? Nah, dude, I have to give this a 9 as well for movie making.
What do you mean as well?
Like, I gave it a 9 for my personal score and a 9 for the movie making.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just the castings were great. I think they hit the fucking nail right on the head with the castings. The plot was great.
The acting is really good.
The acting's very good in this movie. I did like a lot of the camera shots. Like once Edward Norton beat the fuck out of Jared Leto, like the shot of him and Brad Pitt leaving the Fight Club was upside down. Like at that point, I feel like that's when Edward Norton really kind of like lost his shit, and they visualized it with that simple, like.
Yeah, there's a lot of
shot.
This movie isn't overly dramatic in the shooting style.
True.
But there's a lot of really cool camera tricks in this movie.
Yeah,
that got my attention.
And like also like in the sex scenes that they have with Marla and Durden, basically like it's like the camera's moving in a lot of different directions. You never get a good look at the male. So I think like that's because it's supposed to like incite confusion on who it actually is with her.
The way they have the camera set up whenever Brad Pitt's fucking posturing, like shirtless and shit.
Oh yeah.
Another like
he looks intense.
There's also a lot of symmetry in this movie, specifically in the end. Once he is a complete person again and Tyler's dead, Marla and him are standing, and the whole scene is symmetrical. He's on one side of the glass, she's on the other side of the glass. They're holding hands in the exact same way. They look at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I also noticed is like just thinking of the movie, like now knowing that it's the same person, but there's just two different personalities, like the yin yang table that he talks about in the beginning of the movie. There's a piece of art on his table that's like two just kind of like curvy pieces, but they mirror each other. Just different things. Like now that I think about it, really, there is a lot of like mirroring.
So, like, Easter egg things in this movie. You'd really have to go hunting for them.
Yeah, true. Both of Bob's boobs.
So,
my God.
For mine, and this may be controversial.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So, for my personal opinion score, I gotta go with a 9, baby. This movie shreds.
Hell yeah!
I loved it the first time I watched it, and I was just as attached to it the second time. It's just my shit, you know. Like I like the shit that makes you think a little bit, and I like the shit. I do wish. I don't know. It's in a weird genre for me because I'm not a super like actiony person, and there's some sequences that are kind of actiony for me. But other than that, I love it. So 9 it is for movie making. It's a 10.
Wait, how is this controversial?
I was just joking to see what you guys would say.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it is kind of controversial because I guess a lot of people who might have seen this movie won't say that as well. Like, hey, it's not a 10.
Yeah, well, they're wrong.
Okay, alrighty then.
This movie is made really, really well. Camera works great. For 1999, the graphics are insane. The shots are good. What it was gonna be a 9 for me, but what really bumps it up is that fucking needle drop in the end. Fucking master class of needle drops, dude. There's that ending shot, watching the buildings explode, the symmetry, the fucking music. Even the song choice.
Yeah,
perfect ending to this movie. So 9 and 10 from me. Go watch this movie. This movie.
Yeah.
Might change your fucking life.
Bro, this movie got a fucking banger score. 10-10 from Doug, 9-9 from me, and a 9-10 from Aaron.
Yeah, this movie is gonna be
Jesus Christ.
That's what happens when you don't recommend a piece of shit movies, you bastards.
Just you fucking wait for episode 4, you piece of shit.
Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Douglas. As fun as it is to talk about how good this movie is, it's almost as fun to talk about bad movies.
Oh no.
True.
I guess.
And week 4 is gonna be a banger.
On that note, we
can also talk about random thing I just thought about that I just want to throw in here at the end. It's like sometimes you can't like save yourself until it's too late. But also it's not too late. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Like even though he blew up all that shit, like it seems like his life's gonna go on, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
With the needle drop.
And that perfect needle drop. So I had a good time with this movie. I know you guys did as well. And I want to continue good movies into next week.
Okay.
And I wanted to go a little bit more classic with this one.
Okay.
And with Halloween coming up, and this episode, my episode will be coming out the week before Halloween.
Please be alien, 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 please be alien.
The movie we're going to cover next week is Alien.
Let's go!
Why is my whole room vibrating?
You climaxed that hard.
That 1979 classic, baby. I'm pumped. Sigourney Weaver. I will be full disclosure. It was going to be Predator. Up until today at work, I was explaining to somebody what Alien versus Predator was, and I decided that Alien was the way to go.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Alien it is. Look forward to that. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So
I mean, not to spoil next week too much, but it might also be in my top 10.
Oh shit, another 10 from Doug incoming.
For also future episodes coming out, our Witcher series continues, so check that out if you haven't yet. And also planning to drop on Halloween night, we're going to be doing a top 5 ranker with horror movies, and this is going to be a special occasion thing where we have selected 5 movies, and Jacob and I will be ranking them while Doug is hosting and providing critic scores and what the critics think they should be ranked, and we will argue
and the vibes.
We will argue why our rankings are better. So,
because we're smart
for that one as well. That should drop on Halloween. Other than that, thanks for listening. And
I would like to say something. For all listeners, if you're having any issues with anything like that, with any mental issues, and then you just want to talk to somebody, you call 1-800-662-HELP. For any, if you just want to talk to somebody, it's just some confidential 365-day 24/7 treatment.
You're not alone, and it will get better.
Yes.
Great. Perfect. So that wraps it up. Everybody say bye. You specifically.
Hey, fuck it. Send us a message if you're feeling bad. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Hey, yeah. If you want to, we do have an email, theater13pod@gmail.com. We will reply. Yep. So shoot us an email. Yep. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Say bye, Douglas.
Bye, Douglas.
Theater 13 Pod is a Quantum 13 production.